Happy birthday. Born on the 20th of November is the last day in Scorpio, and it is a very creative, imaginative horoscope, but it's a horoscope that shows a lot of moodiness, a lot of timidity, becoming afraid of responsibilities, moving into depression very easily, making you a very changeable person as well. But you have planets as well that make you very determined, but sometimes too aggressive. So, knowing your full date of birth, which means including the year of birth and the time of birth, and looking at your palms, I'll be able to see which set of planets is more active in your earlier part of life, for better or for worse, and which is more active in your later part of life, for better or for worse. You're a person who is very imaginative, and if you can't have that benefit in your area of work, in your career or business, then at least pick something of a hobby nature, because this creativity and these imaginative things that your brain wants and that your body wants will bring a lot of peace and stability to you. You're a person who, depending on what age you are, will be dominated by planets of water, planets of fire. These are the two overriding planets, very strong in both areas. When the water planets come up, they bring weaknesses. When the fire planets come up for you, they bring strength. So the age is very important. But let's talk about your character a little bit more. Your compatibility levels are quite good, in the sense that you are not always making the full charge forward. You can also have give and take. And sometimes when you need to have the leadership, you also have leadership planets as well. I want to talk to you now about the calendar years 2016 and 2017. Let's talk of 2016 first. From January the 1st until your birthday today, the 20th of November, 40% of good luck planets were given to you automatically. And you should have added another 20% or so that you are on the right side of things, bringing success of some kind or another in occupation, in romance, in marriage areas, and also health areas. From your birthday today, the 20th of November, until the 31st of December 2016, until the end of this year, the same thing almost applies. So you remain quite steady enough. It depends on what ages you are to see, will the good luck go up to 70-80%, or will the bad luck move to 70-80%? But I don't know what age you are, because I don't know what year of birth you are born in. We'll leave that to later one day. Let's talk of from today until end of this year, 2016. It remains more or less at 50-60% in a general form, because I don't know your age. But let's talk of moving into 2017. When you move into 2017, the alignment of planet changes a lot for you. And the alignment of planet doesn't improve. It becomes a bit worse. Not totally worse, but a bit worse. So in 2017, you're going to face more challenges in romance, marriage, career, business, finances, and in health. You're not going to be as automatically as lucky as in 2016. So tell yourself the exposure to risk must end by the end of this year. You take it into 2017 and you will start to flounder in any area. The weaknesses will become rising more and more. In 2017, the disappointments are also shown in looking for status and recognition, in looking for fame, in looking for promotions, in looking for enlargement of your business area. All these are going to be handicapped. So I'd like you to prepare you before you enter 2017, not to build on too much. Otherwise, everything there will become very unsteady in any area of your life in 2017. Also in 2017, on the surface, your popularity seems to improve, but it is never steady. There will be many ups and downs with your popularity. The planet of popularity and ego is at play in 2017. And in your case, the popularity will lead to exposure to risk. Your ego, when it wants too much, will also be asking for trouble. So it's better to lie low in 2017 for you. But it all depends on your age. Your ages, which I'm going to try one set first now in a minute. Your ages, if they are your good ages, would have made 2016 excellent, up to 75-80% good. And your good ages may in 2017 stem the flow of tide against you so that you don't get attacked too much in any area of your life. Let me give you an example. Firstly, let's say you are the ages of 20 or 29 or 38 or 47 or 56 or 65 or 74 or even 83. Let's say you are of these ages in 2016. Well, you would have had more than your share of problems from January the 1st until today, the 20th of November 2016. You would have found that in areas of romance and marriage, it's all upside down, topsy-turvy. You would have found that career and business, there are more hurdles and obstacles than anything else. And you would have found that a general flow of life would have been more depressive and a lacking hope than anything else. But then still, the 2016 planners will keep you afloat at least 45-50%. But let's now say that from today until the end of the year, December 31st, 2016, what's going to happen for you? If you are these ages which I've just mentioned, be very careful that a breakup, which means a splinter of in love areas, romance or marriage can happen. Or in your career, you may end up just losing a job or put in a department you really don't like. Or in business, losses may start to mount very fast and you may be pushed to the wall. This could be going to a level of about 65%, 70% if you're of these ages which I mentioned in 2016. But now, with these bad ages or negative ages which I've just mentioned, going into 2017, that's a major problem. So your ages contribute already to 65-70% problem, and the calendar year contributes to another 15% problem, which takes you up into difficulties of 80% in 2017 if you are of these ages which I mentioned. If you're not of these ages, don't panic. You just have to try a little bit harder and you'll be able to do a bit better. But 2017 is not willing to help you very much, born on the 20th in November. So you have to realize that before you enter 2017, you have to tone down your exposure to risk in career, in business, in romance, in marriage, and also in health areas. So 2017 is going to be a handicap for you. But let's now imagine that you are the ages of 18 or 27 or 36 or 45 or 54 or 63 or 72 or 81. Now let's imagine you are of these ages in 2016, you would have done up to the level of 75-80% very well. Things just come your way, whether it's romance, marriage, career, business, finances, you just do very well. And for the remainder of 2016, from today until 31st of December 2016, you will still continue to do very well. But watch out that when of these good ages you enter 2017, you lose 40% immediately, which means that from a good 80% in 2016, you now come to a good 60% in 2017. So get ready to tone down your exposure, not only to risk, but exposure everywhere. So tone down quickly. Don't be too pushy. Don't be too expectant of really fantastic things anymore. So your 2017, born on the 20th of November, is positioned to bring you down. If you are of the negative ages I mentioned, you will come down a hell of a lot. If you are of the good ages, you will be able to keep your head above water. And that should be good enough for you in 2017. But 2017 planets, and there are some who want to help you as well. I worry about the planets of ego, which are going to make you want to expand your business or look for doing things in your career that exposure to risk will be more, or that you want to think that the grass is greener in areas of romance or marriage and you start to stray as well. This is what 2017 can do to you, born on the 20th of November. So watch out for that. I want to talk to you about your health. And all I know is that you're born on the 20th of November. I don't know your year of birth, nor your time of birth, nor have I looked at your palm. So I know very little about you. But even that little bit points to a few things about your health. Firstly, your stomach areas are going to be in great difficulty. So you need to help your stomach, your intestines and your bowels. That whole area has been weakened. And if you don't, then you're moving towards severe gastric maybe, or a breakdown of your digestive tract altogether, and regurgitation, where you eat and it all wants to come up, sometimes up to your throat, and the taste is awful. So worry about your stomach. If you are a woman listening to me, if you're a female, a woman listening to me, I worry about the ovaries, womb and the breast a lot. So don't wait for symptoms. Since I mentioned this, go and see a gynecologist. Let astrology be your symptom. Let me be your symptom, and say that you heard about this and you like to check it out. Because I'm very sure some area in your gynae is going to become a big problem one day. Only when I know your other details of your year of birth, time of birth and palm will I know when exactly. Also, the other thing I worry about for you is low blood pressure. Low blood pressure has its own problems. When we go and take our blood pressure and we have been very busy, or we have a bad temper, or we are angry about something, it will show high. And it may not be the truth, it just spiked for the day. So I would like you to visit a pharmacy or see where you can take a blood test, a blood pressure for 7 to 10 days continuously, and do it more or less at the same time for these 7 to 10 days. And do it before you eat anything, and have it recorded on a piece of paper. And that 7 to 10 days of flow will give the doctor a sense of how low you can go with your blood pressure. So dehydration is a big problem for you. Make sure you always have fluids, drinks of some kind or another to put into you. And there are many other problems of low blood pressure. Basically it says that you don't have enough blood. So go to the internet and check for symptoms and causes of low blood pressure, and you'll find out a lot. These are the few things I can pick up right now. When I see you one day with all the other information of your year of birth and time and your palms, I'll be able to give you a whole list of in the past, present and future of what can happen to you or what has been happening to you. In terms of compatibility, you are a water and fire person, the most charming and the most aggressive and the most difficult, the most easiest to be with or the most difficult to be with. It's all a question of what age and what calendar year, and you become like that. In fact, on what date and what day as well, you can do that, because every day there's a change of guard and alignment of planets every day of the year for us. So I'm worried that your area of compatibility needs to be improved a lot. Yes, you will be extremely moody and oversensitive and very changeable, and that doesn't make an easy partner. So try to control this. Yes, on days you will be driven by an explosion of temper, and that doesn't make an easy partner. So you are the extremes of both ends, and that doesn't make an easy partner. So try to find the middle road and control yourself. To meditate or to make good wishes for yourself is very possible. I would like you to face southeast. I would like you to face southeast, yes. And when you face southeast, I would like you to take both hands and to have your thumb to meet these two fingers. And then you make your wishes, and then you make all the things that you ask for to come true. You have created the energy of infinity. When we leave it like this, energy just moves out. But when we do this, energy comes here and goes back to you. And as it keeps revolving, it builds up a fantastic energy form. So do that. Facing southeast and doing this. Okay? Meditation, also do the same thing, and you can bring your stress levels down as well. Regarding colors, I think I've already mentioned to you, don't use green. Try to use a lot of red in whatever you do for the remainder of this year and for the whole next year. Don't wear too much green at all. Try to have more red in you. Okay. I hope one day that we will meet. In the meantime, you may go to Facebook and look me up, and we can communicate through Facebook. You can ask me many questions, and or Google me by all means, and we'll be able to take it from there. And I hope one day I'll meet you so that I may be able to look at your palms. Your palms are your DNA. Your fingerprints and your thumbprints nobody else can have. So all the signs and the lines and everything shown on your palm is the past, the present and the future. And when I read that, I'll be able to be very accurate for you in predicting all areas of your life for you. Until then, it was good talking to you. Good luck. Thank you and happy birthday.